Right now is Tennessee Senator. She is a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee and the Senate Commerce Committee. Marsha Blackburn is here. Senator, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks very much for being here. I know you're just back from the border, so I want to get your take on that as well. But first, she says the president did all the right things by handing over this, and she says he has no idea how they got there. What do you make of all of this?
Well, there are two tiers of justice. We have seen that very clearly, and DOJ is making that very clear right now. And also, we see that if a Republican does something, they're going to throw the book at you. If the Democrat does something, they're going to give you every possible opportunity to say, oh, this was a mistake. Oh, I didn't know. They allow the justifications. And Maria, this is one of the things people are so fed up with.
Yeah.
Because they know DOJ is not even-handed in this. They look at what they did to President Trump, carrying out a raid, and then they turn around and they see with Biden, and these documents, they're at the Penn Biden Center, knowing that anybody could have access to these, seeing them in an office in D.C., not knowing who has access to that office, who is coming and going, knowing that the Bidens are involved. Biden Incorporated is involved and has done business with the Chinese Communist Party.
Well, I mean, that's a great point,
just
Senator.
listen to this.
And I want to get your take on that. I mean, the Chinese Communist Party, China, sent tens of millions of dollars to this Penn Biden office right before they started. Obviously, they paid for it. So is it a stretch to think that those documents could have been accessed by China as well? I mean, we don't even know what the documents are.
It is cause for question. And it is imperative that the DOJ, if they say there is a standard, that standard needs to be applied to everyone in the same manner. People are tired of this. Rules for thee, but not for me. Mm-hmm. And they want DOJ to do its job in a fair and equitable manner. Lady Justice should be blind.
Yeah. Lauren.
Senator, would you be satisfied if Garland appoints a special counsel? Is that equal justice, or would you like to see more? If there's a thorough investigation and this is indeed looked into, is that enough?
What we need to do, Lauren, is say, let's go where the facts take us. There needs to be an investigation. They may decide there needs to be a special counsel. I don't know the answer to that. Mm-hmm. But any investigation that is even-handed, then what you're going to do is follow the facts.
You know, Senator, it's very concerning to see this country in the vulnerable position that we are in 2 years after Joe Biden's first day in office. Congresswoman Nancy Mace filed a bill requiring Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg and his staff to start flying commercial until the FAA outage and Southwest Airlines holiday travel chaos are fully investigated and resolved. A new report finds Buttigieg also oversaw a rebranding of that FAA system, which failed yesterday. In December of 2021, the office changed the word airmen in the title of the NOTAM system to air missions to be apparently more inclusive. You're not allowed to say airmen. I mean, this is so ridiculous. They're changing the name of the system and not changing the system. And all planes were grounded yesterday for several hours. We've not seen that since 9/11. I don't know. Is it a stretch to say what the heck just went on? Why don't we have any answers to this 24 hours later?
Anybody who is a CEO of a corporation in this country that has had these kind of missteps would not be in that job. They would be fired. The board would fire them immediately. We have to remember, Pete Buttigieg was a mayor of a small town, about 100,000 people, South Bend, Indiana. He had zero transportation experience, zero. And it doesn't matter if it was the Memphis bridge collapse. It doesn't matter if it was the debacle at Christmas for travel. It doesn't matter if it is the NOTAM system. This is what woke ideology gets you.
Unbelievable.
This is what, taking your eye off the ball and not working toward your mission, your defined mission. This is what it gets you. DEI, you know, this is what it gets you.
Senator, I know you're just back from the border. You had a 2-day trip to the southern border this week. Two of your Senate colleagues, you started your visit to Del Rio. You went to the Del Rio sector just 1 day after President Biden's first trip to the border, although he did not go where you went. Senator, what can you tell us in terms of what you witnessed? I know you've been there several times already.
Yes, Maria, and what we have seen is that because of the migrants who believe, when you talk to them and say, why did you come? They say, the border is open. Biden said we could come. This is what the migrants will tell you. I watched a woman who was 9 months pregnant try to make that trip across that border through that frigid river.
Wow.
And the people are coming because they're saying this. We talk to people that have been abused, sexually abused, mentally, emotionally, physically abused by those cartels. The cartels are making money. People are experiencing a humanitarian crisis. Drugs, crime are flooding our streets. They're wrecking families in this country. That is also a humanitarian crisis. The Border Patrol will tell you, give us a wall, give us Title 42, give us remain in Mexico, end, catch, and release. We can handle this job.
What a shame. I know I heard your stories of a woman who was telling you she was raped repeatedly by the cartels. I mean, these stories are hard to listen to, as are the evidence of fentanyl not being policed either on Joe Biden's watch. Senator, thanks very much for your leadership there. We appreciate it, and we'll keep watching. Thank you so much.